I do think that on average, Porsche makes the best, most well-rounded sports cars. And I'm saying that as a journalist. Their cars are very fast, they're very engaging, they're very usable, but I thought there were a couple things that I could do to make them perfect. Most people aren't buying brand new Porsches, taking out the engine and putting in a racing engine, especially with no intention of going on a racetrack. For me, I was looking for what would be the perfect combination of elements to create the end game Porsche. My car is really for the kind of person who's driven everything and wants something that's just a little nutty.
Porsches have style, pedigree, and speed. For those of us that love and are passionate about Porsche, it doesn't matter which one you own or if you own one at all. In this community, all are welcome. Join us as we delve into the heart of Porsche culture, where every story is as unique as the cars themselves. I'm Bo Bachman, and this is My Porsche Story.
My car journey is long and goes all the way back to me being a little kid. The first car magazine I ever got was a Road and Track magazine that had a DeLorean on the cover. That car really instantly showed me that cars were more than just the sort of boring 80s boxes that my parents were driving around. I would read all the magazines when I was a kid, but the idea that you could be the person who was reviewing the Ferrari in the magazine, I mean, you might as well have said, Superman wrote this review. That didn't seem like a realistic job. So I said, okay, well, what can I do with cars? I started at a dealership, and then I worked at a rental car company, and then I went to another dealership, and then I went back to the rental car company, and then my friend Larry Casilla and I started a little car wash in the suburbs of New York City. We started a driving club in order to get people out driving their cars, which hopefully would bring them back to the car wash to have them cleaned. In 2006, YouTube launched. And as soon as I saw that, I said, we could make videos of our drives, and then people would know about the drives and come to the car wash.
That's pretty loud, nice.
I very quickly realized that making videos about cars was a whole lot more fun than running a car wash, so I sold my half and left to go make videos full time. In the beginning, I did not appreciate Porsche the way that I do now. The first time I drove an air-cooled Porsche, I hated it. I didn't get it. It was very clunky, but it wasn't until I started driving 997 generation of Porsches, and I started driving some really nice air-cooled cars that I started to really appreciate what they were about. As an automotive journalist, I've driven every modern Porsche, and most of the vintage ones too, from 356s.
Amazing steering. Oh yeah.
To 911s. 912s.
This thing is great.
Caymans.
I still gotta really get a feel for this thing.
To Boxsters and Cayennes and Panameras and Taycans. I've driven them all.
Oh yes.
When it came time for me to buy my first new Porsche, I have a very deep backlog of what I like, didn't like, and could improve on to build the car that suited my needs perfectly. The GT3 RS 4.0 997, that's my favorite Porsche of all time. It's the best size, very fast, very engaging, but they're like 700 grand. I can't afford that. There's a lot of different 911s that I love and that are collectible, but when it comes to the new stuff that you're buying on the showroom today, to me, it's too big. I need my sports car to be small. Boxster and Cayman is about the same size as the 997 generation 911. The new Spyder RS, which have the Cayman and Boxster platform, is almost a perfect car.
This is very good. Woo!
It offers plenty of room for two people. It's the highest performing Spyder you can get, and in my opinion, the best Porsche that's on sale right now, but are only available with the automatic PDK transmissions. I choose to drive sports cars to engage in a maximal way with machinery, which to me means stick shift. I took a California hot rodders mentality to a Porsche. A guy named DeMan of DeMan Motorsport in New York invited me to drive a Cayman GT4 that they built with a 4.5-liter high compression, naturally aspirated engine that takes that car from 414 horsepower to 568. Big bore, stroker crank, very high performance stuff. That's old school hot rodding. DeMan's car also had a re-geared manual transmission with shorter ratios. Once I drove that, it was, oh, well, this is the thing. This is it. It's an aftermarket product, but it feels like something Porsche could have done if they wanted to. One of those car dealers I worked at when I was a kid was a Porsche dealer. Through my people, I was able to get an allocation for a 718 Spyder, and fortunately, that dealer is right up the road from DeMan. I ordered the car August of 2021. They built it, and it was on a cargo ship. February 2022. A fan of my podcast sent me like a DM, and he was like, hey man, LOL, hope your car's not on this boat. Then sends me a DM with the Mayday distress signal from the Felicity Ace saying that this cargo ship is, on fire. I then looked at the Porsche Track Your Dream software, and it showed that my car was on the boat. I then called my dealer, and they just picked up the phone and just immediately, how'd you know? Basically confirming that my car is on fire in the middle of the ocean.
So would you say your car was effectively lost at sea?
Yeah. So basically, my dream car ended up in 3,000 meters of water, melted into a little ball. And so Porsche had to build me another one. The car was eventually delivered and then literally went to DeMan, and it still had the plastic on it. I never even drove the car with the original engine in it. I always preferred the Spyder because it's California. And I love a top-down car. I don't care what the purists say. I had it painted in a very cool color, which I think is very California. You've got this sort of California hot rodder spirit of doing a big bore stroker engine. My car is a street car. It's for the canyons, windy roads. It's to use as a car for going on road trips. It is a true Southern California sports car. And that's what I wanted to build. The level of engagement is taken up a notch beyond what even Porsche will provide. And I don't want anything else. It's exactly the right car.
So, what's your Porsche story?